half an hour to 45 minutes is what he brainwashed me to take up sales. This was the time I felt that literally I lost thing. I am not able to stand. I'm not able to stand up. I was lying down on the bed. I was 1 week. I was in hospital in Salem. Came back to Chennai. That time I was in Chennai. I was on the bed, kept two three pillows on my tummy, my laptop, my phone. I was working really hard.
When we announced that you are coming on live on RevUp, I got several questions. So one of them, major number of questions have come in with the same topic that says, how do I, or I mean, most of them who are working in the dealership level, they say, how do I get into an OEM? What are the options I have? What should I do? This is a common question from a lot of people. So how would you?
See, for me, in fact, I got an opportunity. I came to know there was an opportunity at Mahindra, and hence I applied. Uh, Earlier, I would rather say, in fact, there were a lot of differences and barriers wherein most of the time only the direct recruits were actually getting into the OEM. Currently, with lot many entrants into our country, lot many auto manufacturers into the country, opportunities are plenty. It's only that you need to really identify it. You need to know that and apply. So it's not a matter of like you having the skills and qualifications alone. But remember one thing: you always need to brush up your knowledge. See, I completed my engineering, but being there in the service center as a manager, in fact, I completed my executive MBA. Now, recently, I completed my uh, senior management program with IIM Calcutta. Now, I've also enrolled for a doctorate of management studies with ISBM. I also want to do an LLB. In fact, I'm just trying to figure out it. So, what I mean to say is keep brushing up your knowledge. Okay, you have to spend time for your personal development. Spend time for personal development means, in fact, keep reading. One of the greatest advice I received was from a lady doctor who was I don't remember her name. In fact, she was a doctor with Vijaya Hospital in Chennai. We were flying back. I was working in Chevrolet, and I was flying back, and I saw her reading a book on sales, a small booklet on sales. So I was so curious. In fact, as everybody, in fact, somebody reading a sales book, and then I asked, "Are you into sales?" She said, "No, I'm a doctor." And I was even more surprised, like a doctor reading a sales book. So one powerful message that she gave me was that don't try to read everything that is related to your subject alone. Start reading something outside the arena so that it gives a lot of good thought into it. So don't restrict your readings to if it is on sales, only on sales kind of a thing. Read even fictions, read even the other subjects kind of a thing. See, because lot many ideas and thought process will actually get triggered from this one. So, and then keep looking into the markets, identify the job openings coming in from different manufacturers. The easiest way is like, see, biggies in the industry would always try to recruit people who are experienced in the market. So somebody from the other brands is what people will start to have a recruitment on because they don't want to wait for kind of coaching and doing it. But then there are other big industries. I don't want to name particular kind of a brands and stuff. Very big veterans in the market. Identify those brands. Even a two-wheeler industry, start getting into it, or a tractor industry, because these are all a different skill set. See, managing from the OEM, as I said, is a different skill set. So you try to get an experience from a learning organization, somebody who is actually an organization which would be spending more time into coaching the people kind of thing. I was lucky enough to get through these kind of a channel, and that's the reason probably, in fact, I'm commenting on rather than trying to jump into new entrant kind of a thing, and then start failing, get into established kind of a thing, a big companies. So you get a lot of mentors to coach you, a lot of mentors to train you, and then take it forward. And never ever feel that OEM is the ultimate kind of a thing. I can tell you, in fact, now you can see a reverse trend. There are a lot of OEM people coming back to the dealership because see, there is one saying, Srikant, uh, being a soldier in a vast empire and being the king of a small kingdom. I would rather prefer to be a king of a small kingdom. So maybe that kind of a psychology also would be there. Like people want to come back and then uh, show their the thing. So dealerships are now into much better positions too. A lot of innovations happen. Your job satisfaction, your execution satisfaction also would be there higher at the dealership level. So never discriminate between both. It's two different opportunities. I would only put it across as that one. Being a, kind of from an OEM and from a dealership is only a consultative partner. I give a consultation to my dealer to perform better. That's exactly what I see myself as, or rather, in fact, my team as. If you start feeling that you're the boss of the dealership, then it is different. Then may not be working properly in this kind of a time. See, earlier it was like I believe, in fact, long time back is what this kind of an approach was there. I had a I don't want to name it in which place and all those things. It will be easy to track the message. Then I had one of the area manager who was complaining that I did not call him sir to my boss. Yeah, that those are there. Uh, I would always say that, in fact, okay, call me name Harish. I'm okay. If you feel that Harish sir is of more importance, then rather, in fact, it's that. Majority of the people have been calling me, I mean, Harish Chetan kind of thing. It's a Malayalam thing for an elder brother. And I feel more responsible when somebody calls me of that sort. Oh my God, it's a bigger responsibility to me. I need to actually ensure his success also. And, so that's the kind of a thing. So that's where I like your introduction about me on the leadership part of it. This is exactly what I feel. I I just need to be a leader in the thing. And like I always want to be a kind of a leader, not the positional kind of a leader with whom people want to just follow. In fact, I always got a lot of inspirations to me. In fact, Mrs. Selvam, Mr. Manish Rathore, and they Godfrey were few to be mentioned about like brilliant people, brilliant human beings. Uh, to me, leader is like a string uh, which actually makes the chain. So all the beads have been, uh, I mean, put onto with a string, and actually you make a mala of a chain out of it. You leader need not be seen outside, but without the leader, the entire beads are of no use. So
One small
that
example I just would like to recall. The recent video that you had done of you doing a demo of a car, and the video was posted on social media. You don't know, like I've got this feedback from a lot of people, who work with you in the team. They say they're inspired. The dealership team, they say when our AGM from the OEM is able to do such a fantastic demo. In fact, I feel incapable in front of him, and I feel I should improve now. Now that's the kind of leadership trend you have said. That's something really amazing, because I don't work with Volkswagen anymore, but the kind of I mean, people still called and said that when I'm in touch with them. So that's something really amazing. That's something that has set you apart from others, is what I would say. Truly surprising interest. So,
you reminded something, Srikant. In fact, one of the comment I saw in that one was from a sales consultant from my Mahindra days. I think in Pondicherry or somewhere, and he was mentioning that, sir, you actually made us recall the Logan demonstration. I think it was actually got out of my hand, but yeah, I could recall. See, one thing I always tell about the sales consultant is they are gifted to talk about the car to humpty number of people. Even if you're talking about the car, giving a demonstration to at least three people in a month, you're actually giving to at least 75 customers in a month. So in a lifetime, he would have been interacting with a lot of needs, a lot of opportunity to demonstrate, and you should be doing it with much passion and expertise. If I, who actually gives a demonstration only when I visit a dealership and when somebody asks, if I am able to do it in this way, you should be able to do it much better. If I, as a person sitting here at this position, I would say people out there much capable about than me should be doing much better than this. So it's
That's true.
your drive, it's your capability to dream, it's your ability to dream that you're actually taking it forward.
Very true. In fact, I've seen a lot of people again from service who say, "Sir, mera to zindagi yahi pe kad gaya." So, I mean, what do you mean? I mean, you're 40, 50, no problem. You still have time here. You can still shift. And that's amazing. Your example is truly inspiring to a lot of people in that segment, is what I feel. Because I want to show this video to all these people and say, see, you can see a live example in front of you who has moved from service to sales and has become successful in sales. That's something really true. And now something I want to understand from you is, tell me about one of the most inspirational moments in this.
Inspirational moments in the auto career. In fact, see, lot many. See, when you talk about inspiration, somebody would have actually inspired you. Okay. Uh, as I was talking about this, Mr. Selvam, right? Uh, Selvam was very smart at questioning, also asking questions. So normally, it's a term people use that I'm passionate, right? You say that I'm passionate about that, I'm passionate about this kind of a thing. So during our initial interaction days, and he was asking, "What are you?" So I told, "I'm passionate about music." Okay, whom do you like? I told, okay, lot many names. What is their favorite song? How many songs they have sung? At one point of time, rather, in fact, earlier questions itself, I got stuck. I really understood that I have no clue. I was just simply liking those people. I had nothing more to it. So it was there. So when I say that I am passionate about it, or rather, in fact, from that point, talking about passion is like it will hold me a little. I would say I like things. I want to do that one, and I became a learner from that kind of a moment. That was the time actually triggered me to learn more. I need to learn things much better. So that was one experience. Recently, we had this interaction, a session from Mr. Leander Paes about his life experience. Beautiful thing. That was a real motivator. And that was a really inspiring kind of a thing. Even interaction with my dealerships team. So that's the reason I'm not able to trigger out and then say that, okay, this has inspired me. Lot many things have inspired me. Lot many people have inspired me. I am what I am at this point of time, not because of me alone. It is because of a lot of people who have actually supported me. Right from my service career, in fact, I would say the person who actually trained me, that Mr. Jairaj, is a very good friend of mine, very close friend of mine. His knowledge has inspired me a lot. So his knowledge about the technical aspects has inspired me a lot. I had an assistant those days, like a CRE kind of a backup reports, one Ambujam. Uh, she has inspired me. You ask anything, she gives you the report in a much better way, and that is one of the key things wherein I was able to do a lot of innovations, a lot of changes into the whole uh, uh, career part of it. One example I need to quote this one. There was one point of time, uh, technician productivity was very important for us, and that is how Popular used to give them incentives and stuff. So those days it was 650 rupees as productivity per a full technician. I mean, a full technician is a technician who's actually completed 1 year of experience. So there was an open challenge from one of the veterans and Popular, that no single technician, irrespective of his experience, even a budding new technician, and manpower count करके, will not be able to make it 1,400 per technician productivity per day. It's about per day.
Mm.
That was a big challenge in those days, and Popular. And I should say that, in fact, I was to break it in 2000 March. I broke it with the help of Jairaj. Ambujam was very keen on giving me reports on a daily basis regularly. It would be displayed on the notice board, the productivity. Only one small thing I did. I was, I mean, segregating this productivity into small time jobs. You do a wheel balancing, you get this kind of a money. Wheel balancing hardly takes about 10-15 minutes time. Your productivity is common. So when you are actually in a position to at least segregate your job, bifurcate your job into small, small fragments and try to evaluate, try to be an excellent to it, all individuals will start working it and then start getting the result. One more keen experience. I feel that this need to be said because uh, certain times you need to uh, little defy certain norms in the workshop. I had a wonderful technician there, one Mr. Suresh. He was the highest performing technician in Kottayam. Nobody could beat him. He was like hardly about 5 feet, 5 inch, 6 inch kind of a guy, a very lean guy, but my God, his productivity was high. Whatever work you give, quick and fast. I had very hefty, strong people there, but nobody could meet up his productivity. So there was a kind of a bias in the whole mind that you cannot beat uh, somebody kind of a thing. And we had certain organization changes there in the dealership. We had one Joseph CGS, a new supervisor had come in. I had a new technician, Theophil, coming in. He's a small budding technician, very hardworking technician. I believe he's now in Italy or somewhere. I really don't know. Very smart technician. So somewhere a leader should be able to identify these things a little earlier. So I only told one thing to Joseph. Joseph, come what may, I want to see this guy as the highest earning technician in the month. You won't believe there was a tough fight between Suresh and the thing, but then with a very good margin, Theophin became the number one technician in the workshop. Further to which, there was a paradigm shift in the whole workshop floor. I could see every single technician becoming the highest productive technician one or the other month. Suresh was still
Wow.
doing it, but then there was an entire thought process change which is happening around. So these are things which is required. You just need to understand, trigger the right point. I have great regards for every single person. So these are experiments that you do to just do a lot of changes into the thing. So I'm just telling on certain experiences. These are inspirations to me. So I
Exactly.
one greater inspiration I should last talk about probably is like my visit to Gotti dealership. When my first visit to Gotti dealership was there, I saw a polo shell kept out there. I was asking the dealer principal what. See, he was telling in fact, yeah, you have got the strongest body. So I was just wanting to display that to the thing. And that was the time it triggered me about a folk studio kind of a thing. So a new paradigm in the sales. Every manufacturer are almost one of the way equal and up and down. And I believe every single car has got a customer. If you need to identify and give solution to the people, identify his need, present the making of the car to the customers, its benefits to the customers appropriately, and that's what exactly you saw it in the video. So this idea was culminated from that kind of a thing, plus our earlier brand videos and thing, and then I thought let's make this stuff. Yeah.
So this is something I can summarize this with. So team, all those people who are looking for to work with OEM, it is not really, I mean, why do you want to work with OEM? It's not focused on just earning. But if you want to actually grow in the auto industry, what you should do, as per Pro Harish Babu, is simple. Be passionate about the work that you do, excel in that, and develop yourself on a constant basis. It does not mean that you finish your degree and that finishes education. No, this is just the start. And being in the auto industry, you've got a lot of things to learn. Keep yourself updated. Latest automobile news, latest technologies in the auto industry. Understand what the competition is coming up with. All these things will grow you in this segment, and this is where you will achieve success. And success does not mean always getting into an OEM. You can also achieve success by being in a dealership. You could become even the CEO of the dealership, the VP of a dealership. In fact, you have seen the members who have come on RevUp earlier also, who have grown from what they were to what they are today, and they're directors, VPs, and top dealerships in India. And that also is success. And what Pro Harish Babu has said is also the kind of, this new technician who came in, who was a fresher, when he came into this dealership and he set a trend that he could become the top technician in that dealership. This gave confidence to a lot of other people in this dealership also to become the top every month. So now it is a lot of thing goes into your mindset. It's all because of your mindset. You have a mindset to be successful and you can be successful. So that was amazing, Pro. In fact, one last question before we end. Of course, team, before I go into the question, if you have any questions for Pro Harish Babu, please comment it in the comment section. We will have the Q&A after this. So, Pro, we are facing one of the biggest challenges in the world today, the COVID pandemic. And every one of us is fighting to come out of it. Now, come what may, I am sure all of us are so positive that we want to take our business further, we want to live on, and we will make this successful. What are your tips to come out of this situation? What are your tips for dealers who want to increase the market share, to sales consultants who want to increase the sales, and to service people who want to ensure that the business is on and growing? Over to you.
Wonderful, wonderful, Srikanth. In fact, that is something which we all are brooding at. COVID pandemic is a reality. So we cannot run away from that reality kind of thing. But then, what is it that we can do? Uh, we need to really retain the manpower. My request, my humble submission to every dealer partner is to retain the manpower, the quality manpower that you have. You need to please retain those people. In fact, I have seen a lot of people who have actually been working about on the pay cuts and stuff kind of a thing. Yeah, at times both sides we need to rather take up this kind of a influence, but still on whatever per se, try to retain your manpower. On the other per se is that it's an opportunity for training, a great opportunity to refresh your thought process and then uh, train yourself, get acquiring more knowledges and stuff kind of a thing. So retrain your people, and then it's realigning your efforts. Most of the things have actually gone digital. One great thing which I've actually noticed is that uh, people who have actually gone digital, digital is as such a bigger source of enquiries and retail conversions also happening. Automobile is one aspect wherein you cannot get away with whatever happened at this point of time. You cannot get away with from a car. You need to have a car, and that too with this kind of a pandemic situation. I feel this is an opportunity because people are showing away from the public transport system. We want private, safer transport systems. So auto industry will always come back, rather in fact survive on a much better way. It's a matter of time. That's what I would say. Uh, if purchases are slightly down, a dip at this point of time, that's more of the financial constraints at thing. So people who are actually buying at this point of time, when I really looked at it, like uh, well-established customers, where financial income is actually not strived uh, or affected, and then additional cars happen. So people with additional cars might even exchange and then start buying our cars or any car for that matter. So it's like you need to really look at it. Who's buying from us? Spend sufficient time with that particular customer, understand his need, try to find a solution for his thing. It is not that things have gone bad. In fact, I would rather say, in fact, we are actually coming back. The industry is actually coming back. Uh, it's a matter of few months that things would be better back. One more thing which I feel is the used car market. Used car market is actually going to see the biggest trend in the country because people with the entry level of the customers also would also want to get into the car segment or at least buy on personal transport level. So I feel, in fact, you can definitely find a lot of changes into the auto segment. So please focus. Uh, so, so to individual sales consultants, understand your customers. Understand your customers. Approach them in the most productive way. Use the digital tools to reach out to this customer. Uh, on the physical presence to the customers might have, would be difficult. So use these digital tools to reach out to these customers, interact with these customers properly. Dealerships need to retain these people. You would really be getting reward out of this retention of people. So that's that's what I would say. Okay, your marketing getting realigned. All uh, before I close on this thing, one important thing which I always wanted to talk about was uh, my favorite quote again, that of myself: "Love with heart and condemn with brain." That's one key thing to my success. In fact, I would say that because uh, whenever I used to uh, scold my teammates, fire about on my teammates, never ever the personal image was actually coming to me. I was only seeing the mistake that has been done, address the mistake, and pack it out, finish. End of it. Myself and Srikant are good friends. That's a kind of an approach. Myself and the other guy are good friends. They are individuals. So don't attribute your failure to that individual. Failure does happen actually. So, but then address the failure of something which need to be corrected, not a major mistake of that individual person and try to, sideline that person kind of thing. So uh, it's a request to lot many people. It's a difficult task. Love with heart and condemn with brain. Anybody, anything for that matter, love it with an open heart. But then, whenever there is a mistake, address your mistake only on a very rational way. Okay, I just wanted to add it at the last point. That is the only thing which I wanted to talk about. Yes,
Thank you, Pro. So now over to the team. So there are questions coming in. So we have a question from Praveen Kumar. Praveen Kumar says, due to this pandemic, we as a startup are facing new obstacles. This has made the customer purchasing policy and behavior completely different and has changed cognitively. Should we change our standard operating procedure or find a sustainable exit plan? How do we as a startup take a step higher towards the betterment of our brand? So, Praveen, we are not sure what kind of startup you are, but yes, as on today, what is the situation? Let us ask Pro. I mean, how do we face the customers today, or how can we ensure that we are in touch with the customers? Is something we can try from Pro Harish Babu.
Srikanth, that's a quite wider question, I would rather say. In fact, probably he has not mentioned about what is actually the startup. See,
Yeah, I
start
understand.
do come in a lot are coming in. It is totally dependent on what is the kind of an idea behind the startup. If his idea is strong, I would rather say if it's convincing, then stick to it. Stick to it if it is convincing. By the question what Praveen has actually asked, I feel that he himself is not convinced the kind of the proposal what he is talking. Currently, in fact, you have seen a lot of startups coming in during the pandemic time. A lot of digital solutions are getting offered. Lot many innovations are actually happening in the digital arena. So that is one opportunity. Uh, so find out that kind of an opportunity. In fact, we have implemented a smart dialing system in our dealership. Uh, so that is a very key thing I would rather say, because most of the time, almost every CREs are working from home. So we cannot transfer the data to these CREs. So what do? We actually implemented a smart dialer system so that every CRA would get the calls and the questionnaire on the phone. They can use the phone to make a call to the customer. So these are again, it can be a startup idea, it can be anything. Uh, COVID is actually affecting the financials of the people. That is the reality. But not everybody is getting affected. If you literally look at it, our GDP is slightly down. That's it. And we are in the position of actually coming back. Unemployment rates are actually also getting addressed. The reason is because they are finding different means of working. You can find, I mean, even qualified people coming onto the street and become street vendors selling vegetables and stuff kind of thing. They are making money. So it's, I'm not telling that that would be our potential customers. It's appropriate enough to identify what is your proposal, what is your idea, and then start driving. If you get detail on it, probably in fact we can discuss offline. That's it.
Okay. So Praveen, probably you can send us a detailed mail about his startup, and we can forward it to Pro Harish Babu and get his answer. Okay. Now on to the next question. This is from Pro Zakir, and Pro Zakir says how to retain manpower as business is dipping and customer is not ready to spend any amount. Please suggest how to increase revenue per RO.
Okay. See, revenue per RO on the service side, good question. Uh, One thing is, vehicle, if it is having a problem, it need to be addressed. So service for that matter, I would rather say it is the allied frills which would be actually getting less. The regular technical service maintenance part of it would actually keep continuing. If uh, this point of time, it is not a revenue per RO, increasing of revenue per RO, which you need to be looking at. You need to be looking at retaining these customers, improve, maybe a little lesser revenue per multiple ROs would be the solution for this one. If you start trying to drain out a maximum out of a smaller kind of a thing, then you may not be satisfying the customers, and probably on a long term, it may not be the right strategy.
Okay. So, team, we have come to end of our time. I know you have a lot of questions. Pro Dhruv Jain is also sending us some questions. So, but sorry, Pro, we cannot have more questions now on the session. So, people who want to have, your questions answered, you can just send a mail to this email ID. So, I'll just put it here on here. So, it is info info at the rate autoretailpro.com. Or what you can do is you can also send an email ID to this one. So you can see on the screen. You see on the screen here. So it is webinar at the rate autoretailpro.com. So any of this email ID, you can send an email and we will forward it to Pro Harish Babu. And we will, of course, reply back to you.
Cool.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
team, we are coming to end of the session. So, before we end, let me thank Pro Harish Babu for taking his time and spending his time and sharing his experience with us. It was truly inspiring, and of course, I'm sure all of you are also truly inspired by the kind of experience that Pro Harish Babu has shared with you. So, Pro Harish Babu, before you leave, anything that you want to speak to team from here?
Uh, Once again, thank you very much from my side, Srikant. This was a great opportunity because I used to address the team from the stage, right in front of the people. In fact, when you speak to them, that is interesting. But this is a different platform to interact with the people. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Uh, I can't say that in fact I am mastered in things. I'm still a learner. Always be a learner. That's what I would always suggest to my colleagues. There are a lot many things that you keep learning. One simple point I just wanted to keep commenting, and then I'll end up at that point. There is always we all undergo a social comparison bias. Okay. Social comparison bias is like when you come into the recruitment of a person, you do an interview of a guy and understand he's more skilled than you, then you reject him. So, so this is something which Bill Gates have mentioned as bozo explosion kind of a thing. Because if an A quality guy start recruiting a B quality person and B a C, and ultimately over a period of time, you might end up at a Z quality, which is absolutely a crap thing, and the whole organization will burst. So my advice, my suggestion, my submission to the my friends and colleagues is that even if always look at somebody who's actually much better or equal caliber to you into the team. Don't be afraid of higher quality people coming into the team. Nobody stops you to be at your stagnant position. You can still grow up. Take learning from new people coming in. New blood will start giving you a lot of thought process and idea, and the whole organization would be benefited. So, so identify good talents. Try to retain these good talents. That's a key for success. You would be definitely benefited out of it.
Thank you, bro. That was amazing.
Thank
So
you.
again, thank you for being here.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
catch up. This is start, and you're also part of AR Pro. So this is just a start, and it is your support which is going to ensure that people from AR Pro and across the auto industry are going to have great success in their careers in the auto industry.
And all the very best to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, team, yet another amazing session just concluded at RevUp with AR Pro. Get ready for yet another session next Sunday, sharp at 11 a.m. Till then, goodbye. And before you leave, quickly tag your friends on this video and also share this on your Facebook profile or your social media profile. I'm sure this is going to help someone in the auto industry. So, with that, I bid goodbye to all of you. We'll catch up next week, sharp at 11 a.m.